Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to our English news edition coming to you from Canal Algérie. I'm your host, Maysa Doumaz. To the headlines. The suspension of classes extended for 7 more days starting from next Sunday with a view to protecting pupils and curb the coronavirus pandemic. As a token of solidarity with the brotherly and friendly countries, new Algerian humanitarian aid shipped to Tunisia and Mali. And finally, we invite you to a visit to a family shop in Naama province, turned into a museum to discover the local bewitching traditional parimony. Those were today's headlines. First in our news, and pursuant to the instructions of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, Supreme Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, and after consultations with the scientific committee in charge of monitoring the evolution of the coronavirus pandemic, and within the framework of preserving the health of citizens and protecting them from the COVID-19 virus, Prime Minister, Minister of Finance Ayman bin Abdurrahman decided to extend the suspension of classes for 7 days, starting from Sunday, January the 30th to Saturday, February the 5th, throughout the national territory. The government sees this opportunity to stress the necessity of vaccination among the education staff. Now we listen to the Minister of National Education, Abdel Hakim Belabed, who was the special guest of one of our previous bulletins, during which he highlighted the importance of vaccination.
The President of the Republic has given me instructions including suspending classes for not only to stop the progress of the virus but also to allow the education professionals to get vaccinated in order to guarantee herd immunity. There were 4 campaigns. The first was launched on the 22nd of August. The second was from the 12th to the 16th of September 2021. The third was soon after the students came back from the winter break, from the 2nd to the 13th, and the fourth was launched the first day of schooling suspension. I invite the educational personnel and all Algerians to get vaccinated because it's the only solution to avoid this danger that is progressing fast, and that's only possible through vaccination.
To COVID-19 updates now, 2,130 new confirmed cases, 1,152 recoveries, and 13 deaths were recorded during the last 24 hours in Algeria, according to the Health Ministry. As it is regarded as one of the most important ways to fight against this pandemic, a vast campaign has been launched by the Department of Social Action in Oran province for the benefit of the inhabitants of the grey zones. More details with Rania Al-Bahri.
A large awareness campaign against coronavirus has been launched by the Direction of Social Action in Oran province at the level of grey zones to encourage citizens to be vaccinated but also to respect preventive measures and to stop the spread of the pandemic. We have started an awareness campaign in the grey zones scattered in 26 municipalities of Oran province. This campaign aims mainly to prevent the spread of this virus but also to encourage the inhabitants to get vaccinated. We all need to get vaccinated as the best way to protect ourselves and our families. We are trying to sensitize as many people as possible so that they become aware of the seriousness of the situation. Since the beginning of the pandemic, civil society has been involved in stemming the spread of the virus. Many local actions are initiated on a daily basis on the ground. We are present on the field to explain the importance of vaccination and respect the health protocol. We came here to Bouyakour to encourage citizens to get vaccinated and to respect the barrier measures. We have distributed face masks and we have asked them to be aware of the compliance with the health protocol. Strenuous efforts are being made by these people in order to raise awareness among citizens.
In the face of this pandemic, many believe in the miraculous power of plants to strengthen their immunity and protect themselves from the virus. The details with Leticia Sadqawi.
Faced with the COVID-19 pandemic, Algerians head for herbalist shops across the country in search of effective mixtures. Alternative medicine or phytotherapy is recognized for its health benefits since the dawn of time. Is it also effective against this virus, and what are its followers looking for?
What is most in demand are camphor oils, cloves, and eucalyptus, used mainly in inhalation.
To inhale as a herbal tea or balm, it is said that some plants are effective remedies against inflammation or to calm cough.
We have become accustomed to buying these products, plants like cloves and thyme, because it is very effective against flu and cold, especially for children. We give them herbal tea to drink day and night instead of coffee. I took herbal tea today.
The benefits of traditional medicine are no longer to be proven. Doctors nevertheless warn against the risks of overdose or toxic mixtures and recall that nothing can replace a consultation with a doctor's prescription.
A shipment of 1 million doses of anti-COVID-19 vaccine were delivered on Thursday on board of an Algerian Air Force plane to Carthage Airport in Tunis. This donation was sent in support of the efforts to stem the pandemic. Manal Ammari.
In accordance with the instructions of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, 1 million doses of the anti-COVID-19 vaccine were offered by Algeria to Tunisia. These donations were carried from the Boufarik military airport towards Carthage Airport on Thursday, on board of an Algerian Air Force plane in support of the efforts to fight against this pandemic.
We received 1 million doses of anti-COVID-19 vaccine from Algeria. This is a precious gift from the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, and the Algerian people to his brother, Kais Said, and the Tunisian people. The Tunisian President asked me to extend his sincere thanks to the President of the Republic and the Algerian people for this act of solidarity. The Algerian Air Force's military plane landed a few hours ago, loaded with 1 million doses of the vaccines. This initiative is not the first of the kind. I would like to remind you that during the previous months, when Tunisia was facing an upsurge in contamination cases, Algeria sent us oxygen concentrators, doses of the vaccine, as well as various medical equipment, reflecting the people's unions.
This act of solidarity aims to strengthen the bonds of friendship and cooperation between the brotherly peoples of Algeria and Tunisia.
This operation initiated by Algeria to Tunisia reflects the bonds of fraternity, friendship and the common will of the two countries to promote bilateral cooperation and their will to face current challenges as one.
This operation denotes Algeria's interest in strengthening the solid relationship between the two peoples and the consolidation of their values.
The Algerian Air Forces shipped on Thursday from the Boufarik Air Base the fourth batch of humanitarian aid that consists of 29 tons of various foodstuff as well as 400,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine to Mali. This cargo was transported aboard of a military aircraft. These operations denote Algeria's solidarity with friendly countries and consolidates the bonds of friendship between the Malian and Algerian peoples. In international news, the Sahrawi President and Secretary General of the Polisario Front, Brahim Ghali, holds Morocco responsible for the serious developments that threaten peace and security in the region. In this context, the Sahrawi President called on the UN Security Council to assume its responsibility by establishing peace and security in the world and by speeding up the decolonization process of the last colony in Africa. The member organizations of Geneva Support Group for the Protection and Promotion of Human Rights in Western Sahara released a communique in which they called on Morocco to stick to the international law in this non-autonomous territory. More details with Manal Ammari.
The 306 member organizations of the Geneva Support Group for the Protection and Promotion of Human Rights in Western Sahara called on Morocco to abandon its policies and colonial rights to implement international law in this non-autonomous territory. In a communique made public, these non-governmental organizations or NGOs urged the resolution of holders on Western Sahara in the United Nations Security Council to include human rights dimensions and the rule of law listed in the MINURSO mandate, and give the personal envoy of the UN Secretary General for Western Sahara, Staffan de Mistura, to fulfill his mandate and allow the people of Western Sahara the opportunity to freely express the right to self-determination and independence. The group followed with great interest the first tour of Staffan de Mistura in the region. Its members deeply regretted that he had not visited the non-self-governing territory occupied by Morocco, which has been completely blocked from any independent inspection since 2015, including from the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. In this context, the 306 NGOs denounced the persistent Moroccan position, according to which the only possible solution to the conflict is the integration of the non-self-governing territory into Morocco. The press release concludes that the language adopted in recent years by the writers of the UN Security Council's resolutions for the renewal of the MINURSO mission, backing the occupier's position, and leaves the people of Western Sahara aside, subject to all kinds of abuse by the occupying forces of the Moroccan kingdom.
In Spain, the civil guards arrested a criminal organization specialized in drug trafficking during an operation that helped to discover a new route used to introduce drugs from Morocco to Spain, according to the Spanish daily newspaper La Razón. Let's delve now to the south, more precisely to Naama province, to visit the small shop of Hamouya family, who turned it into a real museum to showcase the rich patrimony of the region. More details with Rania Al-Bahri.
In Mishriya, in the province of Naama, a family has decided to transform their own shop into a small museum, where many objects are exhibited to tell us the whole story. Since we had some old objects at home, I decided with my brothers to create a small museum and bring together our national heritage. Thanks to anyone who can help, otherwise we hope to make new acquisitions with our own funds. This small family's museum has become a meeting place for artists and attract more and more visitors, all passionate about paintings and art objects. I come here to Hamouya's shop as a visitor. This kind of place didn't exist when I was young, so I come daily sometimes just to look and remember the past. It's exceptional for me. This place is like a gateway to the past and ancient history of Algeria that guaranteed the escape for visitors and tourists.
That was it for our news edition. Thanks for tuning in to our program. Good night.